We're getting more WNBA today on Strikeout Beer. And we're live. Welcome to Strikeout Beer, episode number 310. I don't know. I haven't been pulling out the notebook here lately. Been lazy because I've been at home. But hey, as always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD. Are you ever anywhere else?
Well, sometimes I do the show at your house.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
That's what I meant by that. Is I'm doing the show here at home as opposed to over at your place.
Oh,
So,
all right. Why does everything sound so low? I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and get the beer out of the way for the night. Oktoberfest is upon us this weekend over in Munich. I'm having Paulaner, Munich, the Oktoberfest beer. Now, this is a fest beer at 6% alcohol by volume. Ever since 1818, we have brewed our bottom fermented Oktoberfest beer during Oktoberfest, Germany's favorite Oktoberfest beer and true institution in Munich. The glass is full of October sunshine, strong and golden, the perfect balance of light taste of hops and a strong note of malt. A feast of a beer which will always go down well. This beer is only brewed for Oktoberfest. That's where it belongs, along with all the fun and the fare, like the Ferris wheel and the roasted almonds. The fact that this is too long, I'm not reading all that shit. I kind of kept going. I'm like, nah, I'm done. I'm done here. So there you go. This is what I'm having. All right.
Okay. I don't have any Oktoberfest. I couldn't find the NA Oktoberfest, but I did get Buckler non-alcoholic.
Okay.
It's imported from Holland. So
nice. There was a Warsteimer beer that I was looking at. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll get that, and then you can grab the NA version of that. But I was like, I saw this. I was like, this is what I want. I was like, I just want this one.
This is it. This is it. But yeah, there's nothing on Untapped about this one. I can't tell you it has an average score of 2.16 out of 5 out of 9,382 reviews.
Okay.
Here, it is what is it? It's a lager. So
interesting.
Looks nice.
See what we get.
B from O, what is going on? How you doing, brother?
What's up, dude?
Hope life is treating you well.
I'm going to change my background real quick. There we go. It gives it, the other one's so dark. It's black and gold.
It's kind of a little skunky.
That figures.
It says this is from Heineken. So if it's brewed in the same vein that Heineken is, Heineken's a little bit of a skunky beer.
It really is. You know, I had a Heineken. I went to the movies.
Oh,
Friday night, Saturday night. What night did I go? I don't remember.
We need a breaking news sounder for when something like this happens.
I wish I had one. I think all I have is the Womp Womp one.
Hey, ironic twist in that Dr. Pepper came before Coke.
Oh, okay.
That's my favorite.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Okay. Well, thank you. And we appreciate that.
Yeah. I can't remember what night it was. What the hell was I doing? And I was like, hey, you want to go to the movies? It might have been Saturday. It must have been Saturday night then. So Beetlejuice is in theaters. You know, we watched the original one probably a week ago because it's on, Max and whatever. So I'm like, okay, fine, And I was like, let's give it a go. I don't know what to think of this movie. Let's give it a go. Danny DeVito's in it. I was smiling from ear to ear. The
spoiler. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So
anyways, back to my beers. All right, well, so I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, hey, you want to go see? You want to go to the movies? And she's like, oh yeah, let's go. It's like Beetlejuice is Beetlejuice. Jesus, I just said it 3 times. Jesus, don't do it. Don't do it. So, anyways, it's out. I was like, let's go pop in there. They got the reserve seating has changed the game for me, right? So love it, big fan. And then so we go to the one over in like Louisville. And most of these places have beer now. I didn't see the beer the last time I was there, but this time we had already kind of eaten. So I was like, all right, well, what do you want to get? She goes, I got to get some popcorn and some cheese. I was like, okay, cool, no big deal. So let's pop over there real quick. And I noticed that they had 24-ounce Heinekens, the silvers.
Okay.
I was like, okay, because that's a pretty decent beer. There's not there's no skunkiness with it. It's pretty easy drinking. It's only 4.5% alcohol by volume, so nothing crazy, but just something you can sip on essentially throughout the entire movie. I ran out. I probably could have hammered it and then they got me another one and then ran through another one, but one lasted about 3/4 of the way. And so sitting there, it's kind of a long movie. It's a lot of scenes were kind of long.
Oh no.
Wasn't great. Oh, Alan's falling out. Oh no, you're back. I've heard folks have been disappointed with it. Yeah. I'm one of those folks. Even though I haven't verbalized it, I haven't told anybody it sucked or anything like that. Because even my kid was like, "Hey, we're gonna go watch this movie." I go check it out. Let me know what you think. And he's like, "I loved it. I thought it was awesome." I was like, there's scenes that just run way too long. But ultimately, there were some parts where I laughed out loud. S was funny. They throw a curveball at you about halfway through as well.
Okay.
You get some nostalgia, you get some callbacks, you get, things like that. So I'm in.
Okay.
And I give it a half thumbs up.
I don't know what to do with myself right now because, I mean, this is 2 movies in a row that you've gone and seen that you just haven't shit all over, which is confusing for me because typically you go to a movie and then you just ass all over it. So,
well, I'll be honest with you. Like, as I'm sitting there, I reached over to, how many times do you think I leaned over to Lizzie and I said, this movie sucks?
5.
It's probably about 5. Probably about 5. And it's nothing against the movie.
No disrespect.
I'll tell you what, my favorite character, go watch it. You haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I haven't. I have not.
My favorite character is Bob. When you see Bob, Bob is the guy. I love Bob.
Bob's a shrunken head guy, right?
He's my guy. He's my guy.
He was in the first one.
Yeah. And so there's parts where it's fun. Obviously, Monica Bonicelli or Belushi? She's in it. She's still got
our girl from Shoot 'Em Up.
Yeah, she still got it. Every bit of it. So she's, not to ruin it, but yeah, she has a bone to pick with Beetlejuice. Obviously, who doesn't? At this point, and I'm telling you, Winona Ryder, not Winona Judd. Winona Ryder, she struggles in acting. She's not a great actress. So you kind of deal with that. But there's some funny stuff. You're gonna laugh. There's, I think it's okay. And I tried to give it the bit of a doubt. One thing I didn't like was the previews. The previews sucked. They were like for like dumbass movies that are coming. I'm like, I am not interested. And I didn't say anything. And then, oh my God. So we were sitting next to these. This is something else that drives me crazy. Like 500-pound people. Or no, I don't want to say that. High calorie humans. These buffaloes come running down the aisle, like towards like the movie. And it's dark out. It's dark in there already. So they get there like kind of right at game time, right? And so they're coming down that. Well, they drill like Lizzie. Lizzie even moved her legs in and pulled her seat in because she could see that they were coming, put her head down, sound like Tatanka. You know what I mean? It's so, and they still drilled the shit out of her chair. And they're like, oh, Jesus, and she's like, yeah, no shit. It's like, but, other than that, the one thing I was watching it, I went to go see it in XD.
Okay.
Huge screen, right? Well, for some reason, it didn't take up the whole screen. Like they didn't hit the button to extend it. It was probably 10 feet off of each side. Michael Henson in the house. How are we doing?
What's up, Henson?
Ironic twist in that Dr. Pepper came before Coke.
Oh, thanks.
He called me last night and then hung up immediately. I was like, oh, okay. So I called him back and hung up on his ass.
And so it's been nonstop. You guys just calling each other and hanging up since then?
Well, I got like a couple of trade offers in a league, and I approved them both, but they were for the same dude. And they were like, well, I need to know which one you want to give up. I go, I don't care. The guy accepted the trade, or I accepted the trade. He made the trade, then he drops the player.
It would be the first one, right?
Yeah.
Immediately regretted calling, as you should.
Yeah, so
I would assume the first one that you accept would be the one that would go through. Like,
everything's got to go through the commission. This league, he's a real, he's the man in charge. He's the sheriff, and so. But anyway, the guy dropped him like 25 minutes later. I was like, "What the hell's going on in this league? I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the deal is." But yeah, he dropped him.
He sends you a trade proposal. You accept it, and he says, "Nah, bro, drop."
No. I accept it. He accepts it. He gets the player. I get the player, and then he drops the guy he just traded for.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in this friggin' league, dude. I told you this is gonna be my last year. I was like, 1 year and I'm done. I can't do it.
This is absurd.
Sounds like collusion. We all should be kicked out. Kicked out. Oh, he just wanted the pick. What pick?
You traded a draft pick, it sounds like.
I didn't trade a draft pick. I just saw players.
Did you read the notes?
No. Here's my text. Here's my text message or whatever. I was like, he goes, well, hey, it's blah, blah, blah from Columbus. Like, oh, hey, man. He goes, well, which trade do you want to do? I go, says right in the message. I go, no. I was like, just give me the player. I was like, I'll take the player for the player or whatever. So, yeah. I was like, oh, well, whatever. That's in the message. Who reads all these goddamn messages?
I mean, it's part of the trade proposal. It's in the notes of the trade proposal.
I ain't reading all that shit.
Obviously.
I guess it's right there. What pick did I trade away? Like probably first fucking round.
You traded that pick, you clown.
See, I've never been in a dynasty league because when you trade players, you just trade players. You know.
Right.
Well, yeah, no, I was like, yeah, sure, good. I was like, what's this guy trading me this guy for?
It was 3 words.
I read the goddamn players. 2025.
You traded a first round pick.
Yeah. It's probably a reason why I don't even like half the guys in this league. I think I played half I played like 3 backups last week. Yeah, I've kind of mailed it in. I traded a 2025 first rounder. Yeah, I'm out, dude. This is my last year playing. You can kick me out now if you want. Because I'm gonna tank it anyways. I almost there was a league I'm in, Alan. I think it's the DF. I think it's the DILF League. I think it is the DILF League. And I was like, there's something that happened. I think Michael Pittman's the one that set me off. I go, you know what? Fuck this guy. I'm dropping everybody in this league. Like anybody that didn't give me like 10 points or more, I'm fucking dropping everybody. And I damn near did it today. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that to Dylan.
Do me a favor. Just give me a heads up.
Yeah, I did it once in the Strikeout Beer League. You got all pissed off and gave me all my players back. Yeah, I would have never traded whatever for a fucking first round pick. Yeah, I didn't know. The first 3 words. I'm looking for the stupid thing too. Isn't it in here? Was it CBS? I don't know what fucking league this thing's in. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Wait. It's called something, right? What's the name of our league?
I think it's the Southern Football League.
American Football League. American Football
or
League.
American. Yeah.
American Football League. I've been sitting here replying to Yahoo or YouTube responses. They're still coming in. Like people talking about their lineup being destroyed and all this kind of shit. I'm like, dude, this is something. All right, let's see what we got here. Right,
Zay Flowers is at least a decent option.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. But yeah. I don't have my trade here. I don't know why I don't see it. Maybe I already deleted the damn thing.
Henson said, I mean, I'll get you replaced tomorrow if you want.
That doesn't matter. You know what I don't like? You know, I love the league. I love Henson. Nothing against Henson. But the CBS app,
I don't like the CBS
is the
app.
most dog shit fantasy app I've ever seen in my life. Like it's fucking terrible.
I don't like that. I don't like
and I love Henson, but boy, I don't. Maybe this was the like cutting edge stuff 15 years ago, but it is the worst hosting thing ever. I mean, I'll hang out, but yeah, if you want to find, I mean, you can find somebody else. I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. This league, I'm like sitting there like, yeah, no, I inherited a bad team. I got like 2 good players, which I'm kind of, I'm excited about. I got 2 good players. And then the rest, I'm like, okay, yeah, no, they're awful. They're not getting any better. Customization they offer. Oh, is that what it is?
There's a lot of customization that you can have with that league. But yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I'm holding on, but I mean, I might just, you never know when I might just go rogue. And, and I've done it before and I'll do it again. It just depends on how I feel at the moment. And you just never know what's going to happen. Like shit just going to go crazy. Functioning outside of that is crap. Yeah. Yahoo sucks in my opinion. I guess I've done it for so long. I don't like the new Yahoo, to be honest with you. The update they did this year is they did it for aesthetic reasons and to kind of update. They're getting close to wanting to look like Sleeper, because Sleeper is a big player. I find the Sleeper app too busy. Like there's too much shit going on.
Yeah, there's just way too much going on with that.
I don't know if I'm betting on sports, ordering a hooker, or
setting my lineup.
They're setting a lineup. I can't figure it out. and I'm an old man. Here I go. I'm I'm not a boomer, but that's what these moron kids, they think anybody over like 25 is a fucking boomer these days. I'm like, I was like, my parents were boomers, but yeah.
But also, like, when you go into it, right? And you click on players, like you're in your league and you click on players. Not all these players are available though,
Yeah.
right? You've got to make sure you're selecting the right things. It's just yeah.
Hey, Henson, since you're in here, do you want to make picks with us tonight? We're going to do that in probably about 30 minutes or so, 35. All you got to do is call my phone. I'm going to hook it up to the board. You don't have to get a camera or anything ready. We're going to make 5 NFL picks at the top of the hour. So if you want to join us, you can talk shit about me and my team. Okay, good. We'll lock you in. I'll turn the phone on and I'll connect it.
Yeah.
So I was checking the feed for the SB Fantasy Football Podcast. If you don't know about that, I don't know where you've been. It's our brand new fantasy football channel. We've separated it out to be more focused. Alan and I just did a live stream on there, only on YouTube. That's the only place you can catch our live stream and interact with us, ask us questions. A lot of great questions this week. It was a lot of fun. Audio is available wherever you listen to podcasts. Again, SB Fantasy Football.
Yep. A lot of shorts coming out of that channel too. I actually, while we were in between shows, I went ahead and posted the short because big question that came up was Travis Kelce or Trey McBride this week. So Rapid Dave's Trey McBride. I'm Travis Kelce. We'll see. Focus. You guys what?
I won the last 2 weeks if I'm picking McBride over Kelce. So yeah, he's been better the last 2 weeks. You might get 1 week, but not more than that.
Well, I think at the end of the year, Kelce will be he'll be higher than McBride.
We'll see. But yeah, have some really tasty beers. Yeah, this is just a wild weekend. Like I told you, man, it's like, between just all the craziness going on. I used to be able to sit down at about 11:30, make some picks, do some DFS, and then lock in for what's Chris Hansen say, 7 hours of uninterrupted NFL. And damn it, I've been interrupted. I'm losing my side of the bet. I'm being interrupted and having to do. At least I don't have to do I don't have like a honeydew list, right? It's like, hey, do you want to go drink and eat somewhere else or do something? And I've been in. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fine. It sounds like a plan. And then it ends up being all freaking day. So I don't think this weekend's going to be the same. There's a couple things we'll talk about later in the show. There's Oktoberfest events in the Metroplex. I'm going to give you a breakdown of all the ones around this area for this weekend. Not so much next weekend, but yeah. And if you're in the Rangers, they play the Blue Jays tomorrow. It's a 1:35 game. It's their last day game at home. I think their last day game in the Metroplex is Sunday, and that's it. Over.
Wrap it up. Yeah. Kelce certainly due for a good week, even with that stupid, shitty mustache.
It's the dumbest effing mustache I've ever seen. Like, it makes me, when I told you I was like, oh, I'm going to shave my beard off in sections and I'm going to eventually get to a mustache. I just don't want to look like that. Like, that is, I don't know.
That's where you just go from handlebar to nothing then, right?
I might go a little high and tight on the inside, bring it in just a little bit. Nothing, I'll bring it in a little bit.
The Michael Jordan?
I'll give it to Michael Jordan. That's, go to work, see how they think about it. What's up, guys?
What's up? You like my Michael Jordan mustache?
Guten Tag.
I haven't heard of that other guy. I don't know who that is. This is the only person I know that's worn this mustache.
And I took that personally. I'm going to turn down my volume because I want to make sure when it comes across, bring it in too far and you have a mass murder. Whoa, God. I'm not reading the rest of that.
No, it's Michael Jordan. Jordan, basketball player.
Yeah, you ever heard of them? Like,
he's like the most overrated hack in NBA history, Wasn't for Steve Kerr, wouldn't have won a couple of those championships. So, man. So, speaking of MLB, it's wild card fever, right?
Yeah.
I'm super excited over here as my Tigers are just handling business. They've been one of the hottest teams in baseball here lately. They're currently a game and a half out of the wild card. If we can hold on these last 3 innings, got 3 more innings, we'll sweep the Royals, which will be nice. Because I think we're finishing with like the White Sox and like the Rockies or something like that,
Yeah, you want that towards the end. That's one thing I said about the Rangers is like they get the Angels and the A's towards the end. I'm like, but if you're too far out, it's too much to pull out.
I kind of learned from Facebook that my comment was against guidelines.
Oh,
Oh, geez, you're about ready to get flagged again, buddy. I think we're going to see the cat here in a second.
we've seen who runs Facebook, and it's not them. They're anti those people.
Have you not seen the social network? Come on.
Dude, yeah, the people who run Facebook, it's like, yeah, no, they show their colors, and they are not.
Justin Timberlake's one of the people that run Facebook, right? That's what the movie told me.
He's got his own effing problems. I haven't heard anything about that guy. I'm just asking.
This guy.
So if you want to talk baseball real quick, yeah. So right
Yeah.
now in the wild card, you have the Yankees in the East, Guardians in the Central, Astros in the West, Baltimore, Royals, and Twins are on the wild card right now. Baltimore being +4, Royals being +2, Twins being on the cut line. You got the Tigers a game back. The Mariners are 2.5 games back. Sox 4, Rays 6, Rangers 7.5. But yeah, I mean, I think when you look at it, all those teams that are in the wild card right now, they're currently on losing streaks. The Baltimore have lost 3 in a row. Royals have lost 3 in a row. Twins have lost 1 in a row. Tigers have won 3. Obviously, you said they're playing the Royals. There's no one else really on a massive swing like that. So it's like, they can that number that the Orioles had a couple days ago when I did the SB baseball one. Yeah, I was like, man, they're like 6-7 games up, man. Like they got to hold on, but then all of a sudden they're diving, man. It's September baseball. It gets wild.
2-8 in their last 10.
Oof. Yeah, they're 2-8. Royals are 5-5. Twins are 4-6. Now the Tigers and the Mariners, they're 8-2 and 6-4 respectively. And other than that, everybody else has a losing record or maybe even just even. And it's bonkers in the AL. So looking forward to see how the next 2 weeks go. I think the final games are the 29th, if I'm not mistaken. So it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be one of those things, man.
Yeah, and over in the National League, you got the Padres. They're 2.5 up, and you got the Mets and the Diamondbacks are tied right there for the second and third, and you got the Braves are 2 back, and then the Cubs are kind of they're not out of it, but they're 7 back, right? So they're pretty much out of it. So it's looking like you're going to get one of these 3 teams is going to be out: the Mets, the Diamondbacks, or the Braves. And this is exactly what the Diamondbacks did last year. Right? They squeezed it in as a wild card. Next thing you know, they're in the World Series over the line. Jesus, wait. They believe in Jesus, right? Oh, yeah. He wasn't Jesus, oh, Pete.
I don't know about Cheap Carpenter. Was he like the lowest in town, like doing commercials and shit? Like, you buy 1 room, you get 4 rooms free or something on carpet. I don't know what's going on. You're right when it comes to I think the wild card in the NL is essentially up for grabs. Padres should be able to, they should make it, right? And then the Mets and the Braves were tied just 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, whenever I put the one out there. Now you're looking at the Braves are looking in, they're a game and a half back. The Mets are in they're at the cut line, and then Diamondbacks right there, half game up. So I think it's just going to be a jockeying for position. Obviously, between the Diamondbacks, Mets, and Braves, someone's going home angry, and the other two, they're in the postseason. I think you're right. The Cubs are just too far gone. All these teams are playing 500 baseball except for the Mets and the Padres. In the last 10 games, they're 6-4 each of them. All the teams in the right now in the wild card, they're on 1 or 2 game winning streaks. Nothing crazy. I just it's going to come down to the wire, man, which is always fun. End of September baseball and then October baseball is just amazing.
Yep. It's a good time.
Who do you want to see in the World Series? Let's do the ALCS and the NLCS, and then just at right now, who do you want to see in the World Series? And then because we're going to do obviously we'll have more shows, and we're going to do a baseball show. We always do postseason baseball shows.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I want to see my Tigers in the World Series, right? I mean, but let's take that out. Take that out of the equation. I think you're seeing. Do the Yankees have the pitching for it? I don't know. I mean, they got the bats, but usually it's not the team with the bats that get it, right? Guardians, maybe the Astros. You hate to see the Astros there, but the Astros have a decent. It's the pitching staff, right? That's what I'm looking at.
Well, I mentioned this either in the baseball or the Ranger roundup. I can't remember. If you go and look, at teams, how these three teams right now in the AL leaders versus teams with plus over 500 records. The Astros are struggling. They're 38-41. Now the Guardians are 48-43. Yankees are 53-35. They're showing you right there immediately. Yankees excel and can beat really good teams with plus 500 records. Astros struggle with them. Yankees plus 132 on the runs scored versus runs allowed differential, which is awesome. You also get a plus 100 from the Royals as well. And they're not great against plus 500 teams either, 44-51. So there's a lot of struggle. I think the Yankees kind of run away with this. I'd love to somehow, if I get my matchup in the AL, I want to see the Orioles and the Yankees duke it out. Okay. I want to see that in the ALCS. I mean, if the Rangers aren't in it, obviously, but with the Detroit Tigers making some hay, I'm kind of in on that too, because I like cold weather atmospheres, chance of snow on the forecast. I like it getting crazy as hell. Whiskey Pros in the house. How the hell are we doing? But I like that kind of wildness, and especially with like Cleveland as well. You see some flurries that they'll have a little bit. That'll be a little cold to see the breath coming out of there. It gets me all excited, and I am excited for it. But that's who I want to see in the ALCS.
And the thing with the Tigers is they've got a hell of a pitching staff. It's not just their starting rotation, but their bullpen has been great all year. You've got the AL Cy Young winner, right? He's going Tariq Skubal. He's going to end up winning the Cy Young. The dude's having an amazing year. Last time I looked, he was still in the lead for the Triple Crown of pitching. Guy's he's been great. He's the best pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Cletus wants to see Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. Okay. Whiskey, baseball is cool and all, but have you ever had this thing called beer?
I had a couple tonight at Maverick Harley. You should come out. A lot of hot bikes, hot women, cold beers.
Yeah. Cletus, I also like that Pete Rose guy. He's got a little something.
That's Alan's friend, his old pal.
My old buddy, Pete.
Yeah. I didn't see him this time. Yeah, I didn't see him this time.
What?
I didn't spend. Yeah, it was a weird trip. I think I'm gonna take Ty with me, and we're gonna go back for like a quick day, maybe a day trip or something like that. Maybe I'll get the same stuff. Hey, that's Pete Rose. All right, so flipping over to NL, you got the Phillies in the East, Dodgers in the West, Brewers in the Central, and the Brewers are the only ones that have locked it up so far. They're the only ones with a Y next to their name, as far as clinched a. Is that what I'm seeing here? Yeah, clinched the division. Yeah. So they're definitely getting in there. Padres plus 3 games, Diamondbacks half game. We already talked about all that, but for me, I've been harping on the Phillies all year long. They're the best team in the National League, and I want to see them. This is where, like I told you, I want the Yankees and the Orioles. I think it'd be a really good matchup. But when it comes to the National League, I think the Phillies and Dodgers would be the classic East versus West.
You want to see, right? You want to see the Phillies and you want to see the Dodgers. They've been 2 of the best teams in baseball all year. Yeah, I mean that's what you want to see.
I'm thinking Phillies and Padres as well. You still get the West Coast versus East Coast type thing, and the Padres have been hot. They've been hot as of late as well. They've been just a great team, fun team to watch. And again, when you look at the teams that are against, say, above 500 records, all these teams are playing great baseball. I think the only team below it is Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are the only ones that are in the wild card right now that do not have a winning record against teams that are plus 500.
I don't understand what your question is, Cletus. Now in the NL, they don't let the pitchers bat, so they
bat now, or they don't bat now. They DH, don't they? They got rid of the pitchers hitting.
Brooklyn Dodgers are his pick. Okay.
That's probably why he liked that mustache comment. He's living in the 40s and shit. 1942 in his head. He's like, yeah, see? Yeah, smack the.
Yeah, see? We got a rock amongst us. Yeah, see?
Wife's getting a little wild. They got to put her in the loony bin for a couple of weeks. Get her mind.
So I've been going through, I talked about it last week on the show. I've been talking about going through and watching The Sopranos.
Yeah.
So I started it this last week. I'm on season 2.
Have you started talking like this? When you're talking to somebody, you get the fingers like this, like, listen, woman, I told you I wanted the gabagool.
But it's like funny watching because like you got some things where you're just like, holy crap, because like in season 1, Meadow goes to Chris and he's like, hey, she's like, hey, I need some meth, okay? And he's like, I'm not
Meth
getting you
or was
meth.
it speed?
It was meth. It was crystal meth.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
they wanted crystal meth to stay up. So they called crystal meth speed. And
Just
and they reiterated it later. So they're like, oh, you're the guy who gave Meadow Soprano crystal meth, right? It's like, what the? And he's like, you know what? And she's like, fine, I'll just go get off the street from whoever. And, they're like,
I'll
she's
go over
like,
there
hey,
off the Jefferson Avenue. They don't like Jefferson Avenue, apparently.
you're just like, he ends up giving her the meth. It's like, what are we doing here? And then like you got one part where Richie just got out of jail, and he goes up to Chris first. And he's like, hey, you laid your hands on my niece. He goes, if you want to do that, you marry her. Then what happens? Hey, that's what happens. But until you give her your last name, you keep your hands off of her. You're like, oh, buddy.
It's got rules, man. It got a code. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But it's been fun so far. I mean, I'm almost done with season 2 right now. I think there's 6 total seasons. And this is one of those shows that like I caught like bits and pieces here and there. I saw all of the last season, so it's like let me go through it and watch it all. So
it's an easy watch. It really is. You just, the episodes are a solid hour. You're going to get 8 to 10, maybe even 12 in some seasons.
I think it was 13 in season 1.
But I'll tell you what, I think they're great. And if you have time, they're easy, especially if you like work from home, you can put it on. I would say if you've seen it before, you can just put it on and you can have it in the background or whatever. But yeah, since you're kind of watching it, you kind of hit or miss before, you definitely want to check it out. I just, sit down and pay attention. But it's one of those things where, you don't want the wife and the kids lurking about because Tony's nailing somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there's definitely been a few times, because I'll have it on the background, but then there's some scenes where it's like, okay, I got to pay attention, so I'll pause it, and then when I have a break, I'll watch that scene and go through that scene. Had to rewind a couple times. The episode where they go to Italy, you got to be watching it because you got to read the screen a few times, right?
Yeah.
So,
and you want to look at that screen though. Yeah, when Tony goes to Italy, you want to pay attention, pay close attention to the screen. Yeah. It's very important.
Yeah, and it's like that whole when they're there in Italy and they're sprinkling like random scenes of things that are happening in there, and like there's the one scene where he's like on top of the building in a gladiator armor.
Yeah,
and he's got some chick bent over just.
That's her, I think, isn't it?
No, it wasn't. No, because he talked to her because she asked him, it's like, you want to, and he's like, I do, but I'm not going to. I don't shit where I eat. And she's like, what? And he's like, it's a saying, we do business together. Not with someone I'm doing business with. It makes it messy. So, but yeah, just so like, where's he get a Roman suit of armor? Like,
it's in his head. You know what I mean? That's like him thinking about the old, like being in the old days or something like that. Yeah. That's all it was. It's kind of a flashback for that.
Yeah. But I was just like, that was just a random scene that just pops up out of nowhere. It's like Tyler Durden sticking a dick in Snow White, right?
It was that, I introduced the kids to Fight Club that one. You want to watch a movie or whatever? And they're like, what do you want to watch? And I was like, I don't know. And so I was like, you know what? Fight Club.
I want to tell you, but we can't talk about it.
They didn't move an inch for an hour and a half or however long that movie is. And then at the end, I'm like, and so me and Lizzie are kind of talking about it. They're like, well, what's this? I'm like, just pay attention to here, pay attention to this. And at the end, their mind freaking blew. They were like, this is like an awesome movie. And I was like, I told you it would be. It was like something from 1999, 1998, I think. And it was phenomenal. But yeah, no, one of my favorite parts is when he's wearing out whatever the hell her name is. And he
Helen Bottom Carter.
Yeah, he opens the door and there's whatever the hell his name is, his alter ego. He's sitting there, and Brad Pitt, he's got that rubber glove on. He goes, you want to finish her off? And she's like falling off the bed. Shit.
1999.
There you go.
Release. Cletus, it holds up. It does.
I could, just 99 was great. You just, man, I was alive in 99. I could feel it coursing through my veins.
I remember that feeling, like watching it the first time, and then you realize they're the same person, and just how your mind's blown. You're just like, oh, buddy.
I know, right? Like,
Oh, I would
Jesus.
love to. That's a movie I'd like to be able to, kind of put back. When I get Alzheimer's later in life and I forget things, I want to watch that movie again so I can experience that.
For the
So,
first time again.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's on my
Well,
bucket list of Alzheimer's movies. That and The
blow-
Sixth Sense, right?
I
The
never
first
seen
time
this
you watch
since.
it. Really?
Never seen it.
You should watch it. That
No.
movie of the week next week. Movie of the
It's
week.
it's already been ruined. I know that the ghost or something like that, like the Die Hard guy. He's the ghost or something. Yeah, it's been ruined.
I was still alive then. I'm dead inside now. Everything.
I know, right? Like back then, I thought about. I was like, oh my god, yeah. I just remember doing. I was gonna say something. Maybe I'll save it for Patreon. Maybe I'll do it. Patreon.com/Strikeout Beer. We have a late night discussion about sawing broads in half. Anyways, so yeah, that movie was. I didn't appreciate blowing up the credit bureaus, in the movie as much as I do now.
As you do now. You're just like,
But I don't want him to go.
you gotta stand up and give it the slow clap now. Like,
I mean, but now, like in my, like me, I'm like, no, I've already worked hard. I get my shit where it's at now. So now I don't want it to do it. And I go, don't you move it an inch. It's like, but yeah, back then I was like, I was like, yeah, I'm 18 years old. I'm like, yeah, cool, man. I can blow up those buildings. I don't give a shit, whatever. But it was a masterpiece. And I'm telling you, you're talking two young 20-year-olds in there watching and just being glued to the screen. They don't make shit like that anymore. Like that movie was awesome.
Yeah. No, they don't. We don't get that anymore. We get, Beetlejuice.
I'm okay. I went. They got my $13 and then another 50 at the, at the damn concession stand. Well, I think Lizzie was gonna. He goes, I was gonna buy it for her. I go, all right, then get your wallet out faster next time because I don't want to sit there and wait for you to dig through your goddamn wallet. I'm ready to pay and move on with my life.
Fincher is a badass. Yes, he is.
Who the hell's Fincher?
It's the David Fincher. He did Fight Club.
Oh, he director? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. I was like, why
Yeah.
do I know that last name? Yeah. It was
That's
great.
why.
Good stuff.
Have you had the kids watch Blazing Saddles yet?
Nah.
I think that needs to be. You need to bust that one out next to see how they react to that.
I'll tell you what, it's funny enough. So back, about 15 years ago, I was living in Bedford, right? And so Lizzie was living with me over there, and then her son came over, one of the middle ones, right? It's always weird to say, like, it's her younger son, but one of our middle kids. He came over and was spending the weekend with us. And we're hanging out, and I'm like, hey, let's watch Spaceballs.
Oh, so great.
And he never saw it. You know what I mean? He's probably, I think he's already graduated, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like first year of college, something like that. And so I fire that up, and he's laughing his ass off. And I'm like, I'm laughing too because the shit's funny.
Right.
Like, it's just a funny movie. And it's like, yeah, those things kind of hold up for people who are just kind of level-headed and just like comedies and shit like that. And Mel Brooks is a genius. And it was just one of those things. But yeah, Blazing Saddles, I probably have never seen that movie start to finish.
Really?
I've seen bits, pieces, started, watched the ending and shit like that. But yeah, no. But I know the quotes. I know all the bits and everything else. So yeah, no, I'm pretty much versed in it. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe next time. Well, they'll be in. Say, I'll have them both here in October. So maybe in October. Okay.
Cleese, that's who I'd hire to do the disputed. Caddyshack. Caddyshack's a great one.
Fincher did Caddyshack, or is he just naming movies he likes?
Maybe it's just naming movies he likes.
Caddyshack holds up. It always holds up. It's a great movie. I love it. Quote it anytime I'm anywhere near a golf course. I quote it when I'm off a golf course. My older son, I know I've seen it. I don't know about my younger one though.
Unrelated. Yeah, he's just naming movies he likes.
But yeah, they're both into golf, so I think they would get a kick out of it. Right. Especially they hang out. I think one of the thing was my older son. I took him golfing with me and my brother for the first time, like this past probably a couple months ago when he was in town last time when he was in town from Europe, and he was just like, let's go golfing. You always talk about how much fun it is. So he's out there. He's got a cigar lit. He's sitting there laughing at. We're talking about these old chicks we used to run around with and whatnot and all this kind of stuff. So he's giggling and yucking it up. We were quite reserved because he brought his girlfriend with him. So she's there just kind of hanging out. We had her. I was like, hey, you want to take some shots or putt? She sank like a 60-foot putt or something like that. I mean, just walked up to the green and was like, drop the ball. She goes, yeah, I'm good at putt, and she walked back to the cart. So we're at the bar drinking. That was that night I was in Fort Worth, and I called Lizzie. I
remember that, yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm in Fort Worth. I don't know what to do.
That's
Airplanes.
That's another good one. Yeah.
I think the key ingredient to these movies are, as long as like your kid and yourself, obviously, you like comedy, you don't get offended about everything. You know, we grew up in the 80s, we grew up in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, where the type of thing, you weren't offended by everything. Everything was funny.
I don't think that word had been invented yet. Offended. I don't think so.
And you weren't, and you just kind of, everything was funny, or it was like taking shots at people and shit like that. We grew up with comedies that were fully offensive. Now, like some of these people would just melt right now, just even watching 5 seconds of it. We grew up with Richard Pryor and George Carlin, Andrew Dice Clay, Eddie Murphy. Everybody thinks Eddie Murphy like being from Shrek. Eddie Murphy was a very
Dr. Doolittle, Shrek. Like, no. You need
that one when he's just whipping that microphone around, walking down the beach.
Eddie Murphy delirious to this day. I'll watch it and just cry, laugh.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Ron
still
was great.
As many times as I've seen it, I'll still watch it and just tears streaming down my face. I'm laughing so damn hard. It's just
movies were different back then. You know, it was like everybody didn't worry about and get all stuck on just different things. Like it was wild as shit. It really was. And the movies we watched were hilarious. And yeah, I mean, they pushed the limit because they could. They didn't worry about this and that. But oh boy, yeah, we had I'll choose my childhood over what, you know, the next generation has to go through, especially with the you know, having cell phones and camera phones and being connected 100% of the time and online bullying and all that shit. No one, you wanted to bully someone back then, you did it to their face. Like, and if they were tired of your shit, that was the end of that. So
I mean, and just even think about, like, not even like those, but like a movie like 16 Candles, right?
Yeah.
And you had Long Duck Dong, and every time he showed up on the scene, the gong would hit. Like,
I love that. That shit is so effing great. I don't even like that movie. I think the movie's like, you know, it's a teenage movie. So Lizzie always has it on or whatever. She'll put it in the background. But I come in there and he's there and he's just like, hey, you doing? I go, fucking, you know what I mean? But he was also in Nerds, and he was great in Nerds. Or Nerd. Was it Nerds or Nerds? I just said Nerds or Nerds. He was in Nerds. And, you know, I remember him doing the drinking challenge on the tricycle, and they're going around like it's the Greek Olympics. And they're like, Osaka, how you doing? He goes, hey, fucking great. He takes up again, you know. And so, yeah, he was a great actor during that time. And it was just, you could have crazy shit and have fun and whatnot. But yeah, he was something else. But yeah, every time he walks in, what do you got there from Cletus? The damn cat.
Caucasian eye, mustache, about 6'2". That's an awfully big mustache.
Dude, I just, you know, that's something I do try to introduce to the kids and go back to, like, hey, older movies or whatever. Right. Getting into the 90s with them, you know, they can keep up with that, right? Like Austin Powers and other shit like that. But, you know, you start going into the 80s, it's like, you know, it's a little bit lower rent, but there's some crazy shit in there.
Right. Like, so, like, what was it? Bachelor Party? Like, let me introduce you to Tom Hanks' Bachelor Party. Okay.
Yeah. He's sitting there with his little glasses being offended by, you know, what's his name during the, what the hell was it? Sitting there during like the award show. And he's like, oh, you know, all of a sudden he's all offended. Like, buddy, you've done some crazy shit.
Right.
So, won't you take it easy? You didn't mind doing it back then. Now you're like, oh yeah, no, I mean, that's the same thing with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is like, you know, oh, I wouldn't have done that Janet Reno scene in Saturday Night Live now, you know, blah, blah, blah. I go, you sure shit did it back then? You didn't care. It was funny. Everybody thought it was funny. Yeah, Gervais. Oh, I thought that was genius. And everybody, you know, when they bring it up, what's up, Lizzie? How you doing? When they bring it up, it's like, you know, most people love that intro, that monologue, or whatever you want to call it, where he's just roasting on them. He goes, yeah, he goes, that's your friend, not mine. He goes, you're the one, you know, all you guys are hypocrites. And I think it's you know, and when he mentions, like, you know, you get up here, thank your God, give your little, you know, thank you, this and that, and then get off the stage. No one needs we're not on the same level. We're not the same person. I don't care who you're voting for. I don't care about your politics. we don't even live on the same fucking planet, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's Earth, but you're on like a whole nother level where it's like you're in your own little fucking universe. Like, no, we're not the same. Nowhere near it. And I don't really give a shit what you think. So
You can file that under who gives a.
mm-hmm.
You know. So did you hear the great news about the WNBA?
I need to hear it because you told me about it. I think I'll tell you this. Wilson broke the all-time scoring record, I believe.
Single
She hit
season
1,000
record. Yeah, Caitlin Clark broke the all-time assist record for a season.
Yep.
But no, this is breaking news.
Okay.
The WNBA is expanding in 2026.
Going to Seattle.
Portland, yeah.
Portland, same fucking place, no difference. I figure they need to expand to at least probably like, just to one city. I don't like that, but maybe I need like 3 more cities. You know what I mean?
Baby steps, right? No. I think it will definitely be coming with the way that the league has grown this year, leaps and bounds.
Mm-hmm.
Cleese, I always got the impression you cared a lot about other people's opinion.
Yeah, a big time. I like
huge.
I sit here and think about what other people think about other things a lot.
I can't tell you how many times like we're done with the podcast and he's sitting there and like he writes down the name of everybody who comes in the stream and he has their names written down. And when the show's over, he's like, "Hey, how do you think Cletus felt about the show today? You think he felt good?"
I'm more like Steve Buscemi on the Billy Madison. I got a name on the wall, and I'm just crossing names off and shit. It's like
the PK list.
Just fucking lipstick all over the wall. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, expand. I think the NBA should put more money into it to promote it. I think they should be playing in bigger arenas. They should just pay for it and paying more salaries. I think absolutely the NBA needs to step up their game.
Well, also if they decide at some point in time to start protecting Caitlin Clark instead of letting these teams just beat the living S out of her, she's going to help the league grow even more.
Man, I'm glad I called that
guy. Oh man, it's so great.
I agree with that. I think all it's going to take, I think she needs to have a throwdown teammate that's ready to just protect her. I don't think her teammates give a shit. I think they're semi-jealous
now. Like
especially more now, yeah.
Yeah. When the beginning of the season, no, but I think they've realized, hey, look, she can play. She's helping us win. It's good for us. It's good for the league. Because you had a couple players step up when they played the Sky. And like that's a crazy thing. Like majority of the technical fouls in the league are against her. And a majority of those technical fouls against her, I want to say it was like 70% of the ones against her are all when they play the Sky.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just ridiculous. The whole fouling, and I think it's just you know what? If I step out of line, I don't want to step out of line. I say call Lizzie or call someone else, maybe a female fan or another female, and see how they feel about it. Because I think you're going to get a more real response, maybe from the woman, and see what they think and what they think about women, and if they're logical, level-headed creatures. Or they're very jealous, petty. I think we've already had. Then we have them. We had her on not too long ago, and I think she explained it for everybody. She was like, "Yeah, no, that's women for you."
They're kind of like you. They hate everyone and everything.
I hate everything. I don't like anybody. I don't know, man.
I know.
But I am on board with let's pay them more dough, whether they earn it or not. Who cares? It's not. This league is not about if they earn it or not. It's about growing the game of basketball, regardless of profit, regardless of whatever. Just push it out there. Whether people want this product or not, you're going to get it, right? Primetime, ESPN, ABC, wherever you got to put it, where we're going to treat this like a Saturday night over here at my house. It's going wherever the hell it's going, whether you want it or not. You know what I'm saying?
But also, like if you take a look at again, we're going to talk about the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark. Bang, she
goes Angel Reese wide open. Bang. Like, why do you think that she leads the league in rebounds because she clanks fucking layups. Like
She
she's
also
like
leads the league in missed layups.
She's that kid from Big, you know, the friend that's like, I'm wide open, throw it, and he's just donk. That kid led his league in fucking not layups, but rebounds too.
Yeah, but the Indiana Fever games are some of the most watched sporting events. I'm not just there was more eyes watching those games than NBA games this last year. So it's not just WNBA games. It's all sporting events all together that they're most watched. So she's doing a lot of good for the league. You know,
like I said, I'm in, and I think she is doing a ton. Like, you know, this league was laughed at, made fun of, never turned a profit ever. You know, not flying private or chartered flights. You know, you think about all the shit that went on like 2 years ago, and everybody just bitching about it. You know, they're not making any money. They're not, you know, we don't get paid anything, even though you're still a professional athlete. You know, you only have to work like 42 games a year. You know what I mean? Your off season is like fucking 9 months. You can do anything else you want to do for the rest of the time, but you got to play basketball for 3. You know what I mean? And then now it's like people are talking about it. You know, yeah. So what do you want to do? Make a name for yourself. Go out there and hack the shit out of the one chick who made it
eyeballs to your league.
Exactly. And
if I'm her, I just stick them a big middle finger and say, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go play Big 3 and make 100 times what you guys are going to pay me. But whatever.
I said it at the beginning of before the season even happened when she came out and they offered her that. I was like, you know what? And I'll be honest with you. She could have pulled that shit halfway through this season or even maybe next season. Be like, you know what? I'm going to Big 3. Have fun, because all those eyeballs that are on the league, they're going to be watching me in the Big 3, not your sorry asses, you know, miss layups.
And if someone fouls me from the other team on the Big 3, those guys are going to have my back. Here's what Fever need to do. They need to call up Paulaner Bier and say, hey, buddy, throw on a wig, shave, make sure you're clean shaven.
You don't have to shave. It's fine.
I need you. You know, I need you for a little bit, right? I need you for one game. And then the rest of the time you can sit on the bench. And then just before the game starts during warm-ups, you just walk over to the half-court line and just say, hey, and if you mess with her, you're messing with me.
That fix it.
Put the WNBA teams into the NBA.
Yeah. I think you're right with that. I think he walks out there, half-court. You hack this woman too hard. If I deem that it is too rough, I'm coming off the bench, and I'm going to just
look at her the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming at you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in on that. Absolutely. That's what you need. They do it for anybody else. But for some reason with her, they don't give a shit.
Should we get our girl Toni Storm, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She could definitely box out with those thighs.
Buddy. I'm telling you.
Just fold them right in there. Yeah.
We've already passed the top of the hour. Do you want to go ahead and make picks? You got your picks ready? Cletus is in here anyways.
Cletus, call Rapid Dave. So just to recap last week's events.
You just give us 2 seconds, but then go ahead and get ready to call.
We picked 6 games last week.
All right.
One of those games was a push.
Ooh.
Take it off the books. The Bears and the Texans.
Okay.
The Texans were 6-point favorites, and they won by 6. So that's a push. So it doesn't count. So it's like we just picked 5 games.
Okay.
I went 4-1 last week. You went 3-2, and Lizzie went 3-2.
All right.
The difference that Saints Cowboys game.
No, you can call us. Call us because we want to hear your insight on each game as well. Unless you don't want to do it. If you just want to pick here, you just say you want to pick here, and that's fine.
On the season, the listeners are in first place right now at 7-3.
Nice.
I'm in second place at 6-4, and bringing up the rear, Rapid Dave at 5-5.
Yeah. Give me a call. We're open now. Lines are open. Let's go. You already got the number.
You called and hung up on them earlier this week.
I know, right? So,
did you hear Dan Campbell had to sell his house and move?
Who's Dan Campbell?
Lions coach?
Michael Hinson.
Oh, geez, it even says the name?
Oh.
All right, hold on. Let me make sure it's connected. Hello, sir. Oh, it's not. Hold on. 1 second. Audio Roadcaster. All right, Mr. Henson, how are you?
Testing.
We got him. You hear him, Alan?
I hear him. I got him. How you doing, buddy?
Oh yeah, I got you too. All right, doing good.
yeah. We're both here.
See, I thought it was the cat that was going to call, but
he ran off like we're just like we were all just right here, and then he just took off. I don't know what happened.
All right.
It was weird. I don't know.
All right.
We'll get him on Sunday.
Okay. But yeah, no, Dan Campbell had to move. Did you hear this, Henson? He had to sell his house and move. Yeah, because apparently a few people weren't happy with how things were going in Detroit so far this season. You had some people, they found out where he lived and just don't know how to. People don't know how to act right, is what it boils down to. So yeah, he just had to sell his house and move.
Yeah, I think
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a bit extreme. Even though I don't think he's a really good coach, I think he's more of a hype man, and he actually cost the team this week too. But I'm telling you, man, it's like sports fans are lunatics.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Absolute worst. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, just to fill you in how this is going to work, we're going to pick the games against the spread. You'll always go second, Henson.
Okay.
And you'll just tell us what you think. Maybe give us a little breakdown. I don't know, whatever you want to do. If your strategy is to throw poo up against the wall, and then let us know. So,
well, I have an orangutan here that in a target on the wall. We just have him throw shit at the wall and just whatever sticks.
Okay, all right, that's cool. First game, we got the Lions traveling to play the Cardinals. The Cardinals are getting 3 points in this one. I'm taking them. I'm taking my Lions. Lions are winning this one. We're gonna figure things out offensively, and maybe a little bit of an offensive explosion this week. So, Cletus, what you got?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go Lions to cover fairly easily here. I think Cardinals are. And Kyler Murray still sucks. I don't care what anybody says. Jared Goff, maybe he gets it together a little bit this week, and they get rolling a little bit. So I would take the Lions for sure.
Yeah, and just a heads up, if anyone out there owns Kyler Murray, do not play him after October 25th, because that's when the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will be released, October 25th. So you got just under a month left before.
Yeah, good point.
Just drop them.
Nice. Real nice.
It's a good sports point.
Hell yeah.
Rapid Dave?
Yeah, Arizona in the points. I mean, they hung with the Bills. They lost by 6 against the Bills, and they blew out the Rams. The Rams pushed the Lions overtime. They're in Arizona, right? Yeah, they're in. Yeah. Give me the points.
All right. Tigers just swept the Royals. Fun fact.
Boom. So, boy, this wild card is heating up. My pants are just wiggling.
So excited. Rapid Dave. The Bengals at home against the Commanders. The Bengals are getting 7.5.
Wait, the Bengals are getting 7.5.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're giving.
I'll take Bengals. If the Bengals are getting 7.5, I got to jump in fast.
Sorry. Commanders are getting 7.5. Sorry.
Yeah, Bengals will cover that. It's a lot of points, and I think I'd normally take Washington right here. You said Washington, right?
I did. I said Commanders. I didn't say Washington.
Washington. Yeah. Give me the Bengals here to cover the 7. It's a lot of points, but they got it. They'll figure it out. It's all right.
Okay.
They're sitting there screwing around.
Henson?
Yeah, I was gonna immediately try to get a bookie on the line to get fucking Bengals and get him 7.5.
Right? Like, I'm gonna bet my house. I got the deed. Here it is. Oh my God.
If you're talking about betting houses, that doesn't work out for you, buddy.
7.5.
Oh, I didn't hear
what you said.
I'm sorry.
I did. I said 7.5.
Oh,
dude, it's really tough to take anybody getting that. Yeah, I got to take. I think the Bengals are going to win this game. They very well might cover, but I don't like that line. I'll take the points.
I'm putting my hand up because I heard 7. I didn't hear the half, and it actually makes a difference for me. But you know what?
Yeah, it's a big
How
spread.
about that?
All right. I say it every time. 7.5 points is a lot. I don't care how good or how bad the teams are. I'm taking the points. Give me the Commanders.
That's a ton of points.
A lot of points.
The half point on top of it is like just killing. Yeah. They'll win by 10. Fuck it. They're going to win by 10.
All right. Next we have the Ravens traveling to Dallas to play the Dallas Football Cowboys. Cowboys get 1 on this one. I'm taking the Ravens. I mean, it's not even I'm not even thinking about it. Ravens. Henson?
Man, this is really tough. I thought.
Are you overthinking it?
It's tough. Yeah, it's a tough pick.
Absolutely overthinking it. Lamar against the NFC is that's. I mean, I talk trash about Lamar a lot, but him against the NFC teams that don't see him, he's really, really tough to beat, and they're desperate. I mean, just absolutely desperate. So, I hate to do it, but I would take the Ravens. I mean, I just have to. It's just they're going to be way more desperate, and just can't not take them.
All right, Dave.
This game is going to be bonkers. I'll tell you what. I think this is make it break it for both these teams. Even though the Ravens are 0-2, Cowboys are 1-1. I mean, they beat a bad Browns team, but they always do. You know, and Dak just got paid. Buddy, this game is tough. I would actually avoid it.
Well, you can't.
They just lost. Cowboys just lost at home. I say the Ravens are going to win, but then I'm like, well, the Cowboys have to turn the page. They have to get a win at home. Otherwise, they're going to burn the stadium down. You know what? I'm going Cowboys.
Oh my gosh!
Wow! Wow!
So in your situation, the Ravens just decide not to even try to run the ball.
Oh,
I mean, that's the only way that I see that happening is they just say, "Hey, guess what? We're not going to run any run plays."
Here's what I'm going to. You want me to tell you real quick, Michael or Mr. Henson? You got a time for a second here? I'll tell you how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that the defensive. I think Michael Parsons is going to wreak havoc on Lamar. Lamar does not perform well under pressure. He it looks like someone that just keeps hitting the spin move in Madden. He had a tough couple weeks already. I think he's going to make it very uncomfortable for him all day. And even if you do, the run game pretty much goes through. You got Justice Hill and you have Derrick Henry. They're going to be able to get Henry down, I think. I think Henry's going to fall into. I think this game is right now projected for a 48.5 over-under. So they're expecting fireworks. It's not going to be any type of, struggle defensively. It's going to be wide open. It's like last team that scores type action. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like because ultimately it feels like Derrick Henry in the second half is going to be, dude. They couldn't slow down Alvin Kamara. We're not talking about 25-year-old Alvin Kamara. Like they couldn't slow down Kamara now. I mean, there's just no setting the edge. It's
a bad matchup for him. It really is. And then
it's a really bad matchup.
And then don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if this turns into a kicker duel. You have two of the best kickers in the league with Justin Tucker and Aubrey that can kick 60 yards.
Justin Tucker's not that great anymore.
No, easy, fella. Come on now.
Okay, calm down. Come on. Now you're just saying stuff.
No, I'm not. Look at the numbers.
All right, let's go. All right, that's my
automatic pick. Inside of 50. Automatic inside of 50.
Is he?
He missed one.
I don't think he is anymore.
No. He didn't miss one inside 50 last week. No.
Was it 52? It was something like that. I was like, here we go. Yeah, and then he couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe it.
He's not that great anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there.
He's not that great anymore. Oh my God. But yeah, I think I really do think Sunday you're going to, there's two, even if the Ravens lose, they can still see a path to the playoffs. They're still a great team, right? The Cowboys lose, all hell breaks loose. Like they're like, what do we, type thing.
I don't think so. The NFC East is a way weaker division, and I still think at 1 and 2 they're still they're still absolutely in that division.
It's a complete no. Listen, it's a complete S show in the NFC East. Yeah. They're getting out of there, but they're not going anywhere else. Like, they're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? You get to the divisional round, but they're not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, not unless they magically find some linebackers on the street that know how to tackle. That might help.
They can't stop the run. That's one of their things. But yeah,
that's the ones they have now.
I feel like if anybody can pull up and out, it's going to be the Ravens. But yeah, no, they gotta calm Lamar down. But I think that Lamar's just going to get jostled, and they're going to get after him. So it might turn. I mean, this thing could be turned into like I said, a kicking duel. But there's a lot of explosive talent on the field. It's going to be a fun game to watch. But oh, buddy, can you imagine like Dallas? They lose to them. Oh. All right, next, let's go.
Now we've got the next two games we're picking. Both teams are 2-0. All the teams are 2-0 in these next ones. We got the battle of the undefeateds. We got the Chargers traveling to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers.
I'm glad you picked this.
The Chargers are getting 1.5 points. Rapid Dave, what you got?
Chargers, thank you.
Yeah, give me Chargers. I don't even need the spread. They're just beating them outright.
Yeah.
Justin Fields sucks. Absolutely sucks.
He's getting better every week, but I think the Chargers are definitely supposed to be the better team in this situation. And yeah, no, the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, they think they're the kings of the AFC North, and they're like, "Yo, hey, look at us," whatever. And it's like, "Nah, buddy, you're gonna get the ass kicked out of you." I think on Sunday.
I think it'll be a pretty close game. I don't think they're going to kick the crap out of them, but the Chargers are definitely winning this game. I think the Steelers have a pretty decent defense and will keep them in it, but the Chargers are going to win this one.
They're predicting one of the lowest over-unders at 36 right now, 36 between them. So they're going to expect a low scoring. I don't know if that's due to bad offense or good defense, but we'll see.
Well, the Chargers have kind of changed their style. They're more of that run, control the clock type team now, right?
As long as J.K. Dobbins gets his points, I don't give a damn.
Right?
Well, you get him while you can before he has a season-ending injury.
Yeah, you watch your mouth. You watch your mouth, sir.
Just the fact that he's made it so far this year, it's a miracle. It's a miracle.
Yeah.
He's right up there with Romo.
It's a miracle. Goddamn, Romo's a miracle.
Last game we got the Texans traveling to Minnesota to play those Vikings. The Vikings are getting 2 points in this one. You don't know what's going on with Justin Jefferson. Is he going to play? Is he not? You don't have Jordan Addison. The Texans are all fully healthy, and they've looked pretty decent so far this year. Give me the Texans here. Henson?
I got to cover how many? Just 2 points?
2 points. Yeah, Minnesota gets 2.
Ooh, Bovada has 2.5.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I think they could beat them by a field goal. I like what linebackers that are now head coaches. And yeah, I like their defense, and no Jefferson. That's going to be tough. I don't know though. Sam Darnold, potential MVP candidate. So you got to keep your eye on that guy.
It's him or Derek Carr right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
crazy. Kind of whacked out space cadet.
My money's on Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
So is that a Texans vote for you?
Yeah. I'm still taking it. Even with the great Sam Darnold, I'm going to go ahead and take the Texans to cover that spread.
You heard him in the locker room after he beat the 49ers. Never should have can cut me.
Oh God, that's a terrible comment to make. Like it's just
good point.
It's terrible.
I mean, he just got done kicking the crap out of him, so
he didn't do anything when he was there. So cool, Jesus.
But he wasn't somewhere else to beat him. So
all right.
Rapid Dave.
Oh yeah, Texans. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. I just make sure
Thank you.
you make weird picks sometimes. Like you took the Cowboys over the Ravens, and they're just like,
I don't know what I'm doing there, but I feel like it's the right move. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like
it's very Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands. Like
I don't know if these damn craft beers, man, they got me. They got a hold of me.
I want you to be, you know what? I want you to be right. And not even because I'm a Cowboy fan, but simply because the circus of them being in it is better than the alternative.
Is it, or is it more fun if they're losing and then mid-season you're firing McCarthy and then it's just complete chaos?
I don't know what does he have to do to get fired?
I don't think they're not going to fire him mid-season. That's not going to happen. Like, there's just no way.
Okay, so if they go 1-6, you don't think they're firing him?
No, he can go 1-10. I don't think they're firing him.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
I don't think so.
Now 1-11, okay, they might fire him at 1-11.
That's the line. That's the line. 1-10, we're good.
That's the line. That's the line.
I'm telling you, yeah, I don't. He's not going to get it fired mid-season. It's one of those things where, it's if they get their ass kicked in again by, like, say, Green Bay.
Again, they're going to be in it because the NFC East is trash.
Yeah,
and just frankly, the NFC is quite a mess. I think they're going to be in it, even if they're a few games out. Like, there's going to be this cling to hope thing. Yeah, no, he's definitely not getting fired. There's no way he gets fired during the season, barring 1-11. 1-11, that's my number.
I've said it before. It's like the NFC is one of those division or one of those conferences that's like it's chaos. You don't know who's going to win, or you don't know who's the best team in the NFC. You know what I mean? And like you start looking at that's something Alan and I need to look at when we do the next SB Fantasy Football, anyways. But the teams here, it's absolute chaos, and they're not going to get that layup in the first round. They're not going to get to play some shit NFC South team because the NFC South, there's a couple, they're good all of a sudden, and they could just beat the F right out of them. So they're going to probably get that first round.
Let's not go and call that division good. That's a little harsh, but
better.
They're certainly better than they have been outside of Carolina.
So I got to ask you now, if let's just be honest. It's just you and I talking now.
Okay, just me and you. Nobody else is listening.
No one else is. Trust me, no one's listening.
Literally, nobody's listening. We're good.
But they usually get away with the NFC South easy walk into the playoffs, right? And that's how they get past the whatever you want to call it. Anyways, right now the Saints are 2-0, the Bucks are 2-0. The Falcons are 1-1. The only bad team in the NFC South right now is the Panthers. The Falcons are kind of in the middle. I mean, could they just got their ass handed to them by the Saints? The Bucks can do the same thing. Do you see them getting past the first round this year? Like, legitimately?
I mean, seems unlikely.
I would say the same thing. And
but again, it's I don't know. It's again, the NFC is a mess. You got to wonder, because even the 49ers, like, who do they have that's not injured? First off, I mean, and they're supposed to be the cream of the crop.
Yep, they're 1-1 right now. The Seahawks are the number one in the NFC West with 2-0. Then you got the Commanders or the NFC East. Everyone's 1-1 except for the Giants. They're 0-2. In the North, the Vikings are 2-0. Everyone else is 1-1. In the South, Bucks and Saints 2-0. Falcons 1-1. Panthers 0-2. It's like, who do you seriously think could come out of the? I think you're not going to get this answer until December, obviously.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things. And I've been kind of talking about this for years. It's like, there's no clear cut. Like I've said the 49ers have just they've been a really tough team, defensive. They're on both sides of the ball. Right. And then like they've had hiccups. They've had problems. Who's coming out of the NFC that's really going to be crazy? I've heard people talk about the Packers making it to the playoffs or making it to the Super Bowl. I can see the Packers. I can see the Niners. I can see, some other teams, but I just don't.
All those teams have faults. All of them have faults.
Yep.
I mean, you didn't even mention the Lions. I mean, I know why, but I mean, I still like them to come out of the North. I mean, I still think they're the best team in that division.
I mean, in that division, I think to be honest with you, I think they're behind the Packers. Even though the Vikings are in first place, I still see them behind the Packers. I think they get out coached. I think the problem with the Lions, it's been like this for the last couple of years. They don't have a head coach. They have a hype man. Get someone in there, like let him do the head coach duties, but do not ever let him make a decision during the game, because he costs games every single week, every single year. It's like these games that they lose and they matter.
Do you think he's equivalent to like having Michael Irvin out there on the sideline?
Sure.
Like it'd be kind of similar, like same thing.
I mean, I've never seen Michael Irvin make calls, but yeah, no, the Lions, their weakest link.
But you got to imagine it's going to look something like that, right? Like you're ready to run through a wall for him, right? But you know,
like even Allen's ready to run through the next wall. He's like, yeah, you know what? We're going to bite kneecaps off and all this. But you can't. This guy has cost them so many games, and they're starting to see it now. And even like he took responsibility this last week. It's like, okay, you took responsibility for that one, but what are we changing here? Like this guy shouldn't be in charge of anything.
I don't know.
Game time.
He took responsibility, but that wasn't necessarily 100% his fault.
See, this is what Lion fans they're like too busy with this guy. They're too close to see it or something like that. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, apparently he has moved, so they don't like him too much.
0-6 in the red zone is kind of a problem, right? And that's not executing. Jared Goff throwing 2 interceptions. I mean, that
he's not calling the offense, dude.
No, he's not. Ben Johnson is.
That's not really on him if they're just failing offensively. I don't think.
I think it's
maybe
it's always been
I'm going for it on 4th and 24. I mean, okay, sure, that maybe he's made some bad calls there, but
I think even when shit works out
this year than he did last year.
I think when stuff even works out, he's getting credit for shit that he didn't even do anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like you take like the bounce, like, oh, look, he's not doing that either. I think he needs to step aside and let someone else do something, or because this team could have already been good. You look at this team.
Something to you? Point to the doll where he hurt you.
Oh, he doesn't have to hurt me. He hurts Lions fans.
What did he do to? What did he do to you?
How was he hurt? We were in the NFC Championship game last year.
Yeah, you guys, and you know what you guys have turned into? You guys are turning into Cowboy fans.
No,
every year's your year. Every year, you guys are gonna, you guys are the best in the league. No, you're not. And I sit there, I bet on the Lions. I sit there, I draft Lions players and stuff like that. But dude, there's no way. Like, he is the problem. But he's got you guys all hyped up. He's a hype man. He's not a head coach. He's not a guy. He's not a methodical fellow that's gonna to scheme up play the in the.
I would argue that perhaps he's hyped them into more wins than they would have gotten otherwise.
Maybe, but with their talent pool,
I mean, Jared Goff, wasn't he just like ready to quit football before this whole thing? Like, I don't know, I'm not very good.
That dude was in a Super Bowl before he went to Detroit. He went to Detroit because they just
cast him off because he sucked.
No, he shot with McVay's girlfriend or wife.
Well, he made a comment about how she was hot, and McVay heard it, and
that's the only reason he's in Detroit. Yeah. He's already been to a Super Bowl with another team. He hasn't been to a Super Bowl since, but yeah, he's in the.
Did he throw for what did he throw for 37 yards in that game?
Yeah, dude, it was like 3. They put up 3 effing points. You know what I mean? And that's with nobody around. Like, he's on a better team now. Like, they should dominate, but they don't, because this dunce he doesn't know when to call a timeout, when not to. He doesn't. I mean, the guy's he is a absolute, hype man. The guy he can get you to Allen, you ready to get up right now? You want to run through that wall? I bet you he can get Allen.
Not for you.
Or run through that wall.
There's no doubt Allen would run through a wall for him.
I'm telling you. He is that's what you need in the locker room, but you need someone else with you know what? You got to get this guy an earplug or something like that. And then the real head coach is in like a fucking closet in Ford. Is it still Ford Stadium? Is it Ford Stadium, Al?
No, it's not Ford Field.
What's it called? No, it's not Ford Field?
No, it's
Kneecap City?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's up in a closet at Kneecap City calling the plays. Because that's what you need. You need someone that can manage the game. But dude, I've said it for the last 3 years. Alan, how long have y'all been going to the Super Bowl? Last 3 years? About 3 years. When did Dan Campbell take over?
Oh, it actually is still Ford Field. That's right. Okay.
The Ford
I
Field.
was thinking the old one. Yeah, they've
Okay.
carried the name over. Well, I said we were going last year and we came up a game short.
How many years have you been saying we're going to the Super Bowl?
I say it every year.
No, you didn't. You didn't do it
Yes,
till
I
like
do.
recently.
I do it every year.
You've been like, we suck, it sucks, and I feel you. I'm a Bengals. I'm with you, brother. We ain't going.
I go into every season optimistic that this is our year. It can happen anytime.
We got to go back and pull the tape then, because he's like, this year not that great.
I bet on to win the Super Bowl.
What'd you think about that? What'd you think about that last call? What'd you think about that?
I think he got there a little early. I think he got a little excited. Yep.
So do you agree or disagree that the defender has a right to play the ball?
Oh, see, that's my thing. Yeah, no. He didn't go to take out the guy. He went to go hit the ball, but he hit that's just how the rules are, man. It's the same thing as like an underthrown pass. Alan,
right.
what's the best play in football?
But unless you're playing for the Patriots in a Super Bowl, and then you can just level the defender to make the play. That's okay? Is that you don't see that as being a similar?
I sat there and I looked at it, I go, damn it. I was like, he got there early. But the cool thing was, like, I thought he was going for the ball. I was like, at least he's going for the ball. I think the game was lost about 5 minutes before that when Jamar Chase lost his shit on the field. Everything went down after that. But yeah, no, I
actually thought they would get another. I thought that could light a fire under him, because he's obviously doesn't. He looks like a guy that doesn't care at all right now, and he's just trying not to get hurt.
I was telling
his payday.
Talking to somebody the other day, or like today, and I was like, trade him for a first rounder or something like that, and some other shit, get some picks. Fuck it. He's holding out 2 years early, or a year early. He's 2 years out from his contract. No, I'm not a.
The league's gone now. That's how the league is now.
Yeah, we have a listener in here. His name's Melton. He's a good dude, friend of mine, and he's the most realistic Cowboys fan there is. So we'll sit down and we'll talk about stuff like this. And so that's how I
feel. The Ravens. I might give them a run for that.
Yeah, and I sit here with the same thing. I'm like, nah, yeah. I watched the game. I was pissed. I was like, damn it. But what are you gonna do? I was like, they played good. They could have won, but he got there a half a second early, hitting right in the back. But yeah, you can't do that in Burrowhead because they're going to throw a flag. It's just they picked the wrong package to kind of go after. They should have rushed 4. I think if they would have rushed 4.
So do you think if it was the other way around, they make that call? I guess that's the follow up question.
I don't know. I to be honest with you,
I don't think they do.
They don't. I mean, it's Mahomes, right? I mean, Mahomes gets the craziest calls ever. Anytime there's an interception, the flag comes out late. Anytime you can watch the game. You can make your own assessment. You know what I mean? Everybody can just sit there and look, and you can see some crazy shit. And you're like, okay, well, that's weird. But after 3 years, 4 years now, nothing surprises me when it comes to that. But I don't mind. It's September. Like, it didn't bother me that bad. I was like, let's have a beer and let's start betting on this Bears game. You know what I mean? Like, it's September. I'm not even slightly concerned at this point. And I don't think most teams should be, unless you're like a bad team, because you still have 16 games to go. Was it 16 or wait. You got 15. You got 15 to go. The season's still in front of you. No one's tearing away. The teams that are in the lead now, they're wish-washy teams, if you want to call them that. And you got nothing but time.
Well, and also Burrow doesn't seem to care at all in the first 2 games either. I think he's 1-9.
Well,
what I heard.
Alan and I talked about this, and it was more along the lines of they don't play in the preseason. They don't get that rust off. And yeah, they don't worry about the first game or two because they're like, yeah, we're knocking the rust off. We're not that worried about it. And so go ahead.
I'm pretty sure the stat is they've gone 0-2 4 of the last 5 seasons. Because I think it was 3 of 4 going into this season. I think this season makes
they were 1-1 the other time.
Yeah. So they just, the first 2 games, they don't care, but that's also like, I don't know necessarily that they don't care, but it's teams are just rusty going into it because they don't play preseason games. Detroit Lions fans are worse than Cowboys fans. Okay, Jay. Okay.
Well,
but no one plays in the preseason. So because you
I
don't
don't
play in
like
the
any fans
preseason.
want my honest opinion. I think every fan base is delusional on some level.
Oh yeah. Like I was telling Rapid, I say the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl every year. Every year's a new year. You never know. One of these years, I'm going to be right. Eventually, I'll get it.
You're not getting your money's worth if you're betting on them now versus just a few years
No,
ago.
not like I used to. Right, but I still will make money.
Oh wait, they never go, so you've never won, so you don't know what that's like anyway.
Okay, so you want to take some shots? That's fine.
I think what we need is we got to have him on. Like when we get the podcast room back, you're gonna have to come out, man. It's been too long. It really has.
When is that going to happen? What's the?
Kids are moving out next month, I believe. Yeah, they moved in just before they move into a new place. Kind of need a landing spot. So
Maybe cooler weather. Back patio will be more inviting than currently, and yeah.
Oh, bro, we're gonna be out back. We're gonna smoke a couple and enjoy ourselves. Absolutely. Yeah, the Strikeout Beer stream will go shorter. The fantasy football will go longer, but we're gonna be out back. TV's on. Just having a couple nice drinks and little stoves.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you haven't traded or cut all your team's players away by then.
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. What are you concerned about? Don't worry about that. That's me. Dude, I appreciate you calling it, and I appreciate the extra talk too, because that's something we miss. We miss just having NFL conversations. This show used to be all NFL and craft beer. You know what I mean? So I think we need to get you on the fantasy stream. You don't have to set up a camera or something like that. You can just call in. It's easy peasy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all good.
Dude, appreciate it. Run them out of here, Alan, if you don't mind.
Hey, Hinton, the pleasure's all on the side of the table. We appreciate you joining us. Love you, brother.
See you, man.
Later,
buddy. Bye. There you go. There's the great Michael Hinton. It's so good to talk. And he was ready. He was ready to talk. He was ready to chat it up. And it's football is one of those things where it's like, and let's be honest. So you got the Lions, you got the Cowboys, I have the Bengals. You're talking about like top tier teams. And they just haven't got there in the last couple of years. And it's one of those things that where it's like, what's it going to take? And the answers, and especially this year, like when you walked away for a second, I had the whole rankings or whatever. We were talking about teams that are leading right now that they haven't led in years, right? In each division. Like
are you really buying Minnesota or the Saints? Like really? No.
The Saints in the South, yes. I can do the Saints. I can do the Saints. I can absolutely buy into the Saints because I think to me it's the Saints or the Falcons. But the Bucks, here comes Baker, man.
I mean, the Bucks won it last year. Why not again this year? Offensively, I think they'll be fine.
Did they? Were they? I think I usually always make fun of the Cowboys because they get to play the Bucks or whatever, and they always have a sub 500. I think they were a plus 500 last year. Wasn't
they were over 500 last year.
They were the one game up or whatever. There you go. As a C, what does that mean? Oh boy. What that means.
You next Tuesday?
Oh. Oh boy.
Yeah, but no one can finish 500 now, right? Yeah. You're either above it or you're below it.
Well, I mean, you could tie. I tied this week with
somebody. You're still not 500.
Because
you got that tie. I mean, I think technically it's at 500, but it's not though.
Mathematics. It's a tie.
So if in your heart,
you're a tie.
And one.
Yeah, it's a tie.
Yeah, but you're not 500. Your team's not 500. You haven't won and lost half of your games because you got that one just hanging there, just hanging out. Like, hey, what's up?
Oh, buddy.
Just saying.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I hear you just saying, but come on now. Bring it on.
Hey, you excited about the Penguin tomorrow?
I am. So the Penguin's coming out on Max tomorrow night. Is it 8:00 or 7:00?
Is it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna watch it when it releases, like on TV. I'm not gonna wake up and I got too much shit to do tomorrow. I am taking a half day, but I'm going to the Ranger game. It's just so I won't. I'm gonna watch it with Lizzie. Lizzie's gonna be working all day, so after that, Alan should say less sometimes. Like just less talking, or he should say the word less.
Less.
But yeah, I am looking forward to it, dude. I have, I don't know, no expectations on this because I won't have, I don't have negative expectations either. I don't think Disney, just like with Disney, I don't trust Disney. Disney does weird shit. And I think this one, I hope they keep it dark. I've already seen enough previews where I'm like, okay, I like the characters. I like who's in it. I think it's going to be honest, less is more. But I'm excited about it. You?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We got that and Agatha come out tomorrow. So looking forward to both of those. Your little Aubrey Plaza and Agatha. You excited about that too?
I'm very excited. I'm excited about Agatha. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but I'm excited about the cast. I'm pretty sure they're going to ruin it. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you got let's see. You got Sophia Falcone, the Penguin, obviously, Salvatore, you got Victor Aguirre. Yeah, no, everything looks fine. I don't see anything crazy. Oh, you got Theo Rossi in this bitch. Lizzie will like that. Juice from Sons of Anarchy.
Yep.
Yeah, funny. I was trying to see who else would be in here that's gonna catch my attention. But yeah, I'm in. Like I don't know what they would have to do to screw this up for me. But yeah, no, I'm in. I'll probably check out Agatha. How far back does it go? Like, is this like an origin story or something?
I'm not sure. I haven't actually paid attention to a lot of stuff
The ratings
going into it, right? So I'm not sure where this takes place in the timeline. I just haven't. I watched the trailer for it and I'm like, okay, and that's pretty much all that I've done going into it. I haven't looked into anything about it. I'll watch it and go from there.
I think they F with it a little bit. Let me see if I can get a quick synopsis of it or something like that so I can tell you. Agatha's American television miniseries. Just give me the premise. 3 years after being trapped in a town of Westview, New Jersey, at the end of the miniseries WandaVision, the witch Agatha Harkness escapes with the help of goth teen who wishes to face the trials of the legendary Witch's Road. Without her magical powers, Agatha and the teen form a new coven of witches, which will face the new trials. There you go.
Okay. All right. There we go. So it's after WandaVision. So
42 to 44 minutes long.
Yeah.
So it'll be easy. Yeah, no, with
we get 2 episodes tomorrow.
With Catherine Hahn in there and Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, they're gonna have to try hard to screw this one up. But they can. They've done it before. But yeah, I'm in. I'll watch it. I'll watch it tomorrow. How about that? I'll watch it in the morning and then I'll go to the ball game.
There we go. But you know what, guys? That's all we got for you today. We're gonna get out of here. We got a couple Patreon videos to do. We've got, again, if you haven't subscribed to the Patreon yet, you can do it for free. You don't get access to everything, but we do 1 free video a week on there. If you want access to all the other content that's on there, it's $3 a month. You can get in for.
Beer.
Yeah, buy us a beer. Let's go. But we got that, and again, guys, check out all the fun stuff we got over on SB Fantasy Football over on YouTube. Tons of shorts, lives several times throughout the week. We're having fun over there. We're having fun. A lot of people are showing up for it. We're having a good time. But you know what, guys? We love you. As always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD.
Talk to you guys later. Deuces.